50 movies in 50 weeks. I'm your host, Joey Hollywood, where I'm trying to get through all 50 movies in this 50 movie box set in 50 weeks. However, we are not actually talking about a movie in this box set because the movie we were supposed to talk about this week was Menace from Outer Space, a Rocky Jones picture, and we covered that a couple years ago. So instead of covering the same movie over again, we're pivoting over to the Cult Classics box set. And the movie we're talking about today is called The Marijuana Menace from 1937. I decided to just get all the marijuana movies out of the way on this box set every time we have to pivot to this. Because some of the other ones are like Child Bride, and there ain't no way I'm watching that. So we're just sticking to the marijuana themed ones until I run out. But there's one called Test Tube Baby on here, which is interesting. But I digress. Let's get back to the movie at hand. The Marijuana Menace was disappointing for me because it was kind of good. I was hoping it was going to be like laughably bad, and instead it just felt like do you remember the very special episodes? Kitty, come here. Come here. Sorry, Mark Anthony's trying to dominate the show. You remember the very special episodes that would come on TV, like I don't know, like Home Improvement would do an episode about like doing drugs or pornography or something like that, and it would just be like, you know, like, oh, teach your children this type thing. That's what this felt like. Get over here, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get out of that box. Get out of that box. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I gotta hold him while we're doing this. Yeah, so it felt like one of those, but kind of like the Andy Griffith Show version of it. I don't really know the age of my audience, but I'm sure you guys have seen the Andy Griffith Show. Yeah, it felt like the Andy Griffith Show version of the very special episode. I was disappointed because it wasn't like terrible. In fact, it was if it wasn't a propaganda film about the dangers of doing weed, I probably would have just found this to be like a nice little wholesome throwaway movie. And the depictions of smoking weed is weirdly accurate for these propaganda films. Usually, like, you watch these propaganda movies about the dangers of doing weed, and these people like flip out. They're going crazy. They're acting like they're on meth and not weed. And this one, there's just some guy in this movie where he's just completely stoned. He's just like vegetabled out, which I found really funny. But yeah, you know, it was just kind of this wholesome story about this girl who falls into the wrong crowd. She falls in love, gets married. You could take the weed subplot out of this and replace it with like alcohol, and it would still work. Yeah, this was fine. It's a hard sell though, because I feel like when you want to watch something like this, you want it to be really bad, and it doesn't really hit that mark in my opinion. I think it might be a fun movie to riff, like in an MST3K type setting, but it's not like so terrible that it's funny. It's just I don't know. It's just an okay watch. You could probably squeeze this in the same lineup as Andy Griffith Show or anything from that time. Leave It to Beaver. You know, it has a little bit of an edge to it because it's about drugs. It doesn't go so far that I feel like you could get like comedy or just pure entertainment out of it, if that makes any sense. There is one risque part of the film where a girl she doesn't go skinny dipping, but her clothes get lost, and it's a little risque, but not nearly as risque as some of these other marijuana propaganda films. Like there was one I think we covered where the whole movie seemed like an excuse for nudity. That was not the case with this one. There was a risque moment, but it didn't feel exploitative. And that's a good way to explain a lot of these marijuana propaganda films. They do feel like exploitation, and this one didn't. And because of that, I feel like I can't recommend it, because if you're going to go watch one of these movies, you want the melodramatic, everyone's freaking out, it's all over the top, and it just wasn't there. It was a very kind of low-key, version of those things. I don't know. It felt like something that would be on TV at the time. Or not the time, but like in the 50s. But that's it for now. I don't really have a whole lot to say. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It exists, and it was better than rewatching whatever movie. Menace from Space. It was better than rewatching Menace from Space. And I'll see you next week. Remember, please be kind and rewind.